Real Estate Motivated. I am here with
Keitris Bourgeois,
and we are going to be discussing property management,
hospitality consulting,
and payment processing, among other things. It's going to be a great episode. Stay tuned. We are here in the Bywater.
the historic Bywater area.
And how many units are you covering over here?
16 units altogether over here. These are all owned by Kimball Properties. Amazing developer who lets you handle business. He is not a micromanager. We are on Desire Street, which is crazy. It's amazing. So on this left side, we have 6 units. This is an apartment building. 4 one-bedroom units with 2 two-bedroom townhouses. To the right, we have the historic, historic property, the original Bywater Bakery. This one actually contains 6 units as well in the compound. We'll keep walking down further because the man owns half the block. Don't you love that? We will be looking at the beautiful new construction. These are 2, this is a duplex, actually 2 one-bedroom units. Also, amazingly GC by this guy. He was all in. This is one of his little Birdman hand rub projects. Really nice. And then we also have the huge, we call it the big house, the Victorian Bywater Beauty, which sleeps 15. It is a 5-bedroom home.
Short-term?
This is actually used for short-term rentals because we actually partner with right here down the street. They actually is the event venue, so they have a lot of weddings and things like that. So I rent it out to a lot of bridal parties. People love the old historic look of the house, the decor, the actual just interior design is the same. We did not change too much. You know, we have simple bedding and things like that in there. We didn't try to go off the concept because for picture purposes and content purposes for your wedding, they have tall doors, high ceilings. It's just really a beautiful property with the authentic wood floors. These are the same exact wood floors. Trust me, because I've traveled all the way to Mississippi to try to get a replacement board before for those wood floors, and that's what they don't tell you about property management. I'm on the ground running here by myself in New Orleans. I don't have a chef or anything like that.
That's fine. So for this one right here, like what's like a short-term income?
Okay,
like
so
a good month.
A good month for this house is about would say $16,000.
16,000. That's a good month. Okay.
Just for that house. Yeah, that's a good month. High-end months, we would say like a Mardi Gras, so like that you could go up to $20,000.
Okay.
Yes.
So when it comes to property management, how does a person even become a property manager? Is there a fine line to do it? How you do it?
Yes, you could do multiple. There's courses you can take, things like that. I actually went through KaylaWins.com. She is a property management master consultant. I took their class. I have the certificate. You can take multiple classes. They have they give you actually scripts and things. I had my own script, but they give you scripts and options, and then they'll also referral you if you graduate at the top of the class. She would like the top 5 of her classes. She'll use a referral process, and she refers because she's not even into the property management world anymore because now she's teaching. That was really helpful. Just to break down, I went in for business reasons. I was just I'm here for the relationships, because once I know the developers, every time they develop anything, I'm going to get the contracts, and then with those contracts I can pull out payment processing because I'm a partner in a company, Bonita Payments, that actually processes credit cards and best rates, black owned, don't forget. And I'm able to consult on that end because I do have hospitality, restaurant, bar experience, a decade.
So it's really like a full house consulting firm.
It's a full house consulting firm.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So we're gonna wrap up property management with 2 questions, and we're gonna jump into that. So what is one thing that you hate and one thing that you love about property management?
One thing that I hate about property management, it's when you have to deal with owners that are that become very antsy or cheap. You have owners that feel like their property, every owner will feel this way because it's their baby. They have owners that definitely feel like their property is worth more than what it is, and they could get all this money because hearsay is horrible in this world, because you have to go by comps, you have to go by times, and just different things. Location of your property, it's a big one. You know, you can't have a house next door to a abandoned home and tell me that you're about to get $1,000 a night. Like, I can't help you. I have, you just have naive owners a lot of times, and breaking that down, you have to do trial and error, and I hate having to go through trial and error at this point in my career. I should not have to be combative and have those type of conversations with you. What I love about property management, I love my tenants. Like, they may be a pain in the ass a lot of times.
Calling you at 2 in the morning.
They call me at 2 in the morning. They definitely do. That's why I definitely put the virtual dial on my phone now. That was a lesson learned. They're all interesting, and I love their stories. So I love storytellers, whether it's in hip hop or just life in movies. So it's always learning something about people, and you take that with you. So
how do you differentiate like a short-term tenant versus a long-term tenant? How do you approach that?
Okay, so it's according to how many units the developer has or the owner. If the owner has a single family home and they are moving, so there's like multiple ways. If you have an apartment complex, we can do, I always say, if it's an apartment complex, usually 8 is usually like the normal number, 6 or 8, right? You would rent out for long term, because there's always constant money, and then you want to do the market rate. As in the short term, you want to actually find out if you're able to get a license, 1, or 2, I like to do corporate leasing, because it's just better. If someone is coming from a company, I will give there's like a slim chance that they will mess up anything inside of the unit just from trial and error.
And corporate leasing, what is that exactly?
Corporate leasing will be a travel nurse, a business relocation. That will be engineers. So like Houston, big on corporate leasing. You have there's millions of refineries, things like that around there. They have people that are moving newly, so the company pays for them to live for the first 90 days to 6 months, and they need a furnished apartment for them and their families until they find a home or they purchase a home. So I also work with a lot of real estate agents, because when they do get those type of clients, they'll have to stage the house, and then if the house is set on the market for a long time, you're able to rent out the house with all the furniture. And that may be easier. But corporate leasing is like, number 1, easier, less hassle. Remember, short term would be Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, weekend stays. With that weekend stay, you still have groups of people that may come to said city to party or do something. It's a quick turnaround, and you have a cleaning fee. So every single stay, you're cleaning. So cleaning before they come, cleaning after they leave. That's a cost. So those are a little more,
Yeah, definitely.
You have to work a little more.
Yeah, and you put me on game for my my duplex, and I'm doing corporate leasing, and I mean, I'm pretty much living rent free. So I mean,
you will live rent free. The tenants are there to work. They're not there to have a club party. It's not frat people living next door to you, and it works, and it's easier. You could get, every time you get a deep clean, when they do leave after 2 to 3 months, maybe $150. You know what I'm saying? It just makes more sense. Short term is you know, the market has been saturated. So you have people that are pricing too low, so it's not even worth it. So I always think about the budget. What's the mortgage on the home? What's the cost of operation of the home? That would be water, gas, energy, and we do not put full-blown cable TV in homes. That's my biggie. You know, I have a lot of amateurs and new people that come in and they're like, oh, we're putting TV in every room. And I was like, they're there for a visit, you know? Yeah. They're not there to lounge. They don't sit in the house the whole weekend. They're here visiting. Yeah. So, you know, it's just big differences that you have to do. I have a punch list.
Yeah. So how do you do your rates on the property management side, like your fees?
All right, so the fees vary. If you're giving me if it's 10 plus doors, you do get a break or a discount. I start at 20% because I run your whole system. I make sure you have all the necessities, because a lot of times these people like, oh, I'll stage this. You don't have a fire extinguisher. I don't even have a fire. Like, so I go out and purchase all these things because they don't have. I replenish all toiletries, so that would be shampoo, conditioner, mouthwash. Like, I put all those things in there because those touches, that will get you great reviews. Those touches, they get people to come back. I answer call. I have a 24-hour assistant that answer calls if I'm asleep, you know. So we have people working that pays for that. If you're opening 10 plus doors, you know, it may be half the cost, but I have 10 of your units, you know what I'm saying? 15% if I don't have to replenish anything, because you have some people like, oh no, I want to do it myself, and I always tell them, like, okay, but you can't, if you just put quartz countertops in here, please don't give me one ply toilet tissue, when just stuff like people complain about that. Like, the nicer you think you've put it, you can't lack in other areas. Yeah. You know, it shows. Okay.
Maybe you talk about the process.
The process of flipping a new unit, they just painted, so that's why the doors are open. Paint is still here. You have to repair. So a lot of times the tenant moves out, and what you do with that deposit, you do a checklist of things to repair. So before you guys see this, there were a lot of holes in the wall, scratches. The previous tenant had 2 dogs, so we did not give back their deposit, which is totally fine. They knew that because they knew of the damage that was in the house. They had to repaint like the whole wall. So this will typically cost repaint everything. Baseboards had to be changed out. You had to put putty and stuff in the wall. Around $400 with labor. It costs us $400 to bring this back into life. You have a washer and dryer, so the cleaners are actually coming in today, and we'll have to pay the cleaning crew for a new move-in clean. Probably, we usually do $100 for a studio 1-bedroom unit. Here, we didn't have to replace the ceiling fan, which is great. We did not have to replace closets. Sometimes when tenants move out, this will be not here. Just different things. The water heater, everything is working. AC is working. A big thing, sometimes seem like this was forgotten to be taken out, so I have to call our actual maintenance guys to come back and pull this out and clear this wall. So just different things as in that perspective. I think the bathroom is not clean. This threshold has to be painted. As you can see, they leave the bathroom kind of dirty, so we'll have to repaint the tub at the bottom, put some caulking and just things like that. So you got to know a little something about real estate. I'm actually in classes so I can become a licensed GC. You know, I got Professor Mead here that helps me through a lot, and Anthony Kimball. I call them with nonsense all the time. But I needed to know, knowing just the back end and the actual education part and the vocabulary of things was a big thing I had to learn. And I thank God for those two guys, because they literally have taught me all that. I did not extend my education into the actual construction side of things, but I am now. So I am becoming a little interior design expert and a project manager. I have the book and all this other stuff, but I just want to be a GC so I could build, you know.
I forgot to ask you, really, like, how does it feel to be a woman in more of like a male-dominant industries, at least, because I mean it's plural, so.
It's very hard being a woman in this industry. Real estate ain't a joke. Being on the construction side, because people give me a higher quote because they think I don't know. But when I go into it and I'm like, no, you need a frame, or you need a 1x4, or you need this, I know these things now that they have educated me on it. It helps a lot. Like I'm able to actually interact in those conversations. So now you can't tell me how much this costs. I buy all the materials myself. You're not going to the store, so you could tell me the materials was double the cost. And that's what they used to do. Like, nope, I have it all. I'm going to Sherwin-Williams. We have a contract. We have an account there, Home Depot, everywhere. So now we know, you know, we are not, you know, I'm not the pushover. So please don't come and try to overcharge me for things. That's a no-no. It's not happening. So, yeah.
And with all of the units being so close by, that makes your job easier, right? So you gotta be ripping and running extra.
Yes, I love it. With the Bywater units, they're all connected. So once I make an appointment for all the filters to be changed, I can do it all at once. I know each unit in my head, what size filter, just different things like that. I'm able to look it up. Oh, okay, so you knock something to the wall, I can tell you the exact paint that has to go into this unit, whether it's, you know, a slate blue or just a regular white or, you know, just antique white, you know. You have those, I'm able to not run as much, but I have at this time now, I'm pushing probably 26 doors in the New Orleans area.
And that's not including the payment processing, the construction consultant, anything.
It's a lot. Yeah. So I went from working just 5 days a week, probably 6 hours a day, to working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So I guess my last question is, how do you manage being an entrepreneur, a parent, and then having a personal life? You know, how do you juggle all those things?
So
you make it look easy. I say that.
It is not easy. I have a great co-parent. My daughter's father is amazing. We do how we set up our co-parenting. We do a week on, week off. So there, you know, the week I don't have my daughter, I am able to do so much work. I like multiply my workload so I can get stuff done when I don't have her. And then when I do have her, like she goes to school. She's in school. She just started high school and she's in the 9th grade. Shout out to young Chloe. I actually drop her off at school and I come directly to the Bywater because I make all my actual appointments just in case we have a roofer coming, an inspector coming. When you do have refis and just things going on like that, you have to speak with, you know, your different guys to come get appraisals done, or if any tenant called me in the middle of the night, which happens a lot around here, I have to go check on what's going on in the area or just things like that, whether it's a door leaking, just different stuff like that. I'm able to show up.
Okay.
So it's not easy, but I juggle it. My daughter goes to school not too far from here, so it's like drop her off, get this done, then I'll head to Baldwin & Co. bookstore, do a lot of admin. It's a lot of admin, making sure I'm taking pictures of the receipts and sending it to clients, and just emailing people and constantly answering actual inquiries about short-term stays, speaking with my HR people, doing my Zoom meetings, because there's multiple, you know, I'm on a call with you guys Monday, Thursday. We have project in Baton Rouge that's going on Tuesday, so I'll be like, I don't want, it's not bi-coastal, it'll just be, I call it southern coasting from New Orleans to Baton Rouge in a couple of months. So I'll be spending half my time there, so I just figure it out. I'm winging it. You know, I put on a calendar what's at this time, I spend an hour on this client, and that's how I try to break it down. Like, oh, okay, I'm going to do all their invoices for this client. I have to do these invoices for this client. So I have to make sure I'm doing, and then I also got to send my retainer invoices, which You gotta get paid.
Of course.
Gas is expensive,
Yeah.
and I like to have full property management control. I don't want micromanagers. I don't take everyone. Trust me, I meet with people weekly who need me to work with their properties, but you have to find the right person, because you can't have people that are going to be slumlords. You cannot take properties that, or real life, the demographic, the area. You want to comp the area. Like, there's so many keys into this. You can't just take everybody because they're like, oh, I have this house, put it on Airbnb. Remember, these people are staying at the house, 1, because it's like a home. 2, because it's modernized. They don't want, like, no one's coming to stay at a house that smells like their grandmother. 3, like, you can't, like, you have to put some money into decor and operations. And 4, I need a list of people. Like, you have to know, like, if something breaks or something, you have to pay for this. Not the property management company, you as the owner. So, my consulting firm, Bourgeois Consulting, which is the umbrella that holds everything together. I started out just doing restaurant bar consults because I had a very good friend who actually was the original CEO of Bonita Payments before I came on as a managing partner. And so when he had to come across a restaurant or a new bar, anything like that, he knew that I was in that industry. So he would call me to do like side work, and he would pay me a good amount of money just to make a menu or speak with an owner who was selling wings out their house, or, you know, just to give them an idea of concepts, because I'm a big creative. So I like creating the menus, drink menus, things like that. I had a short stint with bartending when I first got into the quarter space, and I know that much. So he would always call me for these concepts, maybe like 8 years ago, and I used to be like, oh man, he's like, man, you need to come, you need to partner with me, let's be business partners, all this stuff. I'm like, nah, I'm just do whatever. So I started Bourgeois Consultants probably 4 years ago, where I just wanted to go in and help minority restaurants, because a lot of times as mom and pop or black owned restaurants, we have no structure. There's no handbook, there's no rules, because it's always family. Right? When you go into these traditional restaurants, whether it's a Willie Mays, a Dookie Chase, the whole family's in the kitchen. The nieces, you know, my aunts had a restaurant. We used to all take turns having to wait tables and clean up and roll silverware. So, like, I'm familiar with it. So when you think about it, no one's there. Like, there's no one in the family from corporate. It's like either you go away, you know, after you work there every summer, or after school, and you go do your own thing, or whether you become a nurse, a doctor, a dentist, or something, you just never go into the restaurant business. So there's no one there in the family that has this experience of being in corporate or being in a different place that had rules, regulations. So I was like, I'm gonna just write handbooks, I'm gonna help them, I'm gonna start them up, I'm gonna do a little retainer, and I'm with you for the first 90 days. After that, I'm out. And that was the plan. Yeah, plans are meant to be broken. Hi guys, we're here with Glenn Charles, the owner of Nice Guys NOLA. This beautiful high volume restaurant that you guys just saw in my brief little interview. So Glenn, please enlighten them on your amazing establishment that you have.
Yeah, really.
Nice Guys NOLA is a locally owned restaurant in part of New Orleans. It's a place where most of the locals go. We have one of the biggest brunches in the South. A lot of live entertainment, hookahs, full menu.
Always packed, never a dull moment, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we have some pretty packed times. Our brunch is pretty huge.
Okay. So, first question, what really made you guys want to pursue this business lane, to pursue a restaurant?
Actually, it just grew into this. If I told you I planned it, it would be lying. So it's like, it actually just grew into this. We opened up in the middle of COVID season, right in the middle of the pandemic, and it just kind of just grew. It just took off from there.
Okay.
We got a lot of support from our people. Had a great team. Keitris here, she was a big part of that. She helped us get it started.
Yeah.
And,
I just followed his direction. I did.
So at what stage did you connect with Keitris, or really?
Pretty much at the beginning. I was looking for some advisors to help us get started the right way. and she came across my table from a lot of different people. Came highly recommended.
Okay. And really, not gonna take up too much of your time. I just open. If you could describe Keitris in one word, what would it be?
Swiss Army knife. Whatever you need, you can call Keitris. If she doesn't know, she knows someone that knows.
I'm with a lot of the restaurants. I still consult to this day. If they call me, they pay. They call me, they pay. That's a big one. You have to set boundaries. Just doing that part is always great because I sit down, I find out what their vision is, how it's going to work, and then at the same time when they set up and I set up everything, I can actually get their POS system because that's also the partner company that I work with, and I can help you. So now you're getting triple the help. Now if you look up any restaurant consulting firm or anything like that, they are expensive, very expensive, beyond expensive. So I was like, well, I'm gonna do maybe a percent, maybe 5% of what they would cost, and that way I'm affordable to help people because I had made a good living for myself. So I wasn't in it for the money. I just was having so much bad service in things when I went to restaurants that had owners that looked like me, and it was more personal, and I just wanted everybody's dream in restaurant to be better. I wanted a longevity. Coming from New Orleans, we have so many places that are black owned, but they don't last. So I was like, maybe I could help with this. You know, I got a lot of money saved. I got a 401k. I'm good. I don't have a car note. I just got the mortgage. I done made all this money off this virtual. I can still do these virtual. So I was like, they're going to all coincide. And so I started doing it full time, and I started doing a couple of places in Chicago, 2 places in Atlanta, and then here. So a lot of times when things happen, it's a blessing and a curse. So when COVID happened, I got to work virtually. I could come back home, and then I'm able to set up shop. It's crazy because so many New Orleans black owned mom and pop places, they didn't have correct registers. They didn't know how to set up Uber Eats, and that's what everyone had to set up, all the different just the different food apps. So I was going and setting up food apps for maybe $500, charging $500 because now you have no choice but to do DoorDash, you know, Postmates, all these places. They didn't know how to work a tab because they're all, but now you got to do curbside service. No one's coming in to get your po' boy now.
Yeah, it's changed.
So everything changed, and they were not just up on technology. So that was my, you know, my blessing because now I'm like extremely busy. So I'm going in and, you know, now you need staff. I can staff places. So I will staff your GM. I'm going to staff your manager, your front of the house, your back of the house. Oh, we're going to have pictures of how the food looks because if this is how it's supposed to come out on the plate, don't forget to put the parsley on the plate. It got to go out. How the picture is, you know, restaurant. It's one thing we're going to do is put some parsley on some plates.
Exactly.
Just different things like that. Courtesy, just common sense. I just took all the life lessons that I had and try to put it into a book. And then I cater it and just create it to the owner's dream. And that was the big vision of Bourgeois Consultants. And we are in Art Bar. He's one of my clients, and just setting up bar, just trying to get a traditional how people should greet everyone. Everyone walks in the door, you want to say hello, how are you, make yourself welcome. And you know, they'll change and evolve through times and times. Now if you come into our bar, it's now a wine bar, and you could come here like you work. It's almost like a business wine concept. Like you can have a glass of wine, your free Wi-Fi, and you also get like free coffee in the evening if you come in here and do business or have business meetings in a lounge type atmosphere, but it's not a turn up. So which I love because I personally I could work in here every single day. I kind of do sometimes.
So were you with Art Bar from the beginning to help with the transition, or did you come later on?
Yes, I came after they were curbside.
Okay.
So literally he was already curbside. The owner is an amazing guy, DJ Johnson. He actually was doing everything himself because during COVID everyone stopped working. So it was himself and Lindsay, here. She is now the GM of Baldwin and Co. bookstore
Yeah, right next
our
door.
bar. Yeah, she runs both buildings, and any franchises that are coming up, she will be running those as well. They were just here by themselves doing this. You know, I came in with the great thing about it, he was so hungry. I love a hungry owner or someone with great concepts, and everything is his concepts. Like, it was really easy coming here, just helping him, just being able to answer the emails, get things set up, private events, just things like that. You know, everyone needs a business consultant, like whether you know it or not, because if you're busy trying to open up 2 venues, there's no way you can do every single thing. Here we are in NOLA Art Bar. It is an amazing staple here in New Orleans, a historic space. Now it is actually a wine bar and book lounge, actually business lounge for you. Everything's broken down now. This was a concept from the owner, and his GM actually brought it to life, where you have all these books and they're going to coincide with the actual wine that you should drink. So just like Black Lives Still Matter, and it'll have like just the deep conversations. You always want to do that probably over a Cabernet, or if you kind of walk down all the Black Girl Magic, and it will be all type of different wines by actual like vineyards or things like that. When you come through, you can actually sit and lounge in here, sit with friends, have business meetings, anything like that. All the things, when you're in here, you actually get 30% off the books that are also in the bookstore that's only across the courtyard.
Gotcha.
Bring us to the bar, which is a craft cocktail bar. We are setting up for an event today in a couple of minutes. But you have different types of mezcal cocktails to craft cocktails that are all fresh juices, and everything is juiced daily in here, which is surprisingly for a lot of people. They don't use like store-bought juice and different. And then we have a fusion concept actual menu, so from pickled deep fried okra to charcuterie boards or anything like that, so you could tickle your fancy, upgrade your palate while you're here. So please come visit us at NOLA Art Bar, please.
And for the process with you and DJ, you really brought a lot of his ideas to life.
Everything he told us was, you have to do it. You have to do it. And then, you know, some things, everything wasn't the perfect thing. Like, it just wasn't like he wrote it down and this was it. We had to tweak things multiple times. You had to change concepts multiple times. It's just a process. So just moving into giving people what they want and setting the mood. You always have to set the vibe. This will never be a turn up club vibe. You know, you will come here, have your wine, bring your guests, talk business. The music is always at a great volume to where you're not yelling over music, trying to have conversations. So that was really his big conversations. Like when he was talking about his vision and things that he wanted to do inside of this space were big and slowly on, I want to be able to go have these conversations with business people who actually want to have a high-end scotch or a high-end cab, or, you know, what kind of Pinot can we get in here that we could sit and these people are comfortable and still have small bites and we could still talk business. So we just didn't have that so much in the New Orleans area. It's either like you're turned up or a library. There was never an in-between.
Yeah.
This space is the in-between. Like, this is the answer to that. Hi guys, we are in the stretch. Welcome to Bonita Payments. This is usually your final stop on your development course. So once you develop your property, whether it's commercial, lease management, anything in that order, you come down to payments. You need to know how you get paid. Bonita Payments will be that tool for you. Bonita Payments was founded by Elliot Foreman, amazing businessman in this space. He knows everything payments, and we partnered together to actually put this in place to where now you have a processor after you finish all the leasing details. So let me break it down to you what we do. Invoicing, business tax solutions, payment processing. we could add to your Shopify. Anything you need, we have it. Also registers, handhelds, all the extra. So that way you, as the owner, operator, management sale, you can get paid. So let's take a look into our office.
Yeah, give us a tour.
So this is the Bonita corporate headquarters right here. We have Raquel over there, our business tax solutions management over there. You come on through. This is kind of what we do every day. We wake up, show up to the office, figure out who's in need, and we deliver registers. We deliver registers, take care of registers. These are all going out to different merchants. We actually set up the menu. We will put in your menu, your cocktail menu, your food menu, set you up for online ordering, whatever it may be, invoicing, tax solutions, anything of that sort. We take care of it, and this is where the magic happens. I'm in here loading stuff. We'll be putting stuff into boxes to ship out, or we deliver, and then we have a whole team that actually installs. And that's what happens in the great room. We call it the glass house of business, because all the money comes from these things right here, these clovers right here.
So it's really a one-stop shop.
It is a one-stop shop here at Bonita, for sure. A one-stop shop.
So let's see. So if I was to open up a new restaurant, what would be like the pros and cons of me purchasing my register versus going through you guys to? It seems like it'll be easier just to package it in with all the consulting and help that you guys do.
So it's easier for us to package it into your consulting and everything of that sort. You will be paying a monthly cost as per in the front load cost. A lot of times when people are going into their first restaurant, their second restaurant, they are not liquid heavy. They're doing a lot, whether it's the development or just the building side, the interior design side. It costs. A commercial stove is 20 G's, you know? So a lot of times people don't understand that. So when people first open these restaurants, sometimes they feel, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy that. So on the back end, like I said, we're usually the end process. We need to know, do you have broadband wiring for internet? Because all of these registers are operated off of high security networks, lots of good Wi-Fi. So say if you open up a brick and mortar in an old building, you know the wiring is stuck. Usually like for a job, we just had a job at a huge venue and they didn't have the correct broadband wiring. We had to call someone to come in on the back end, and it's over $5,000 to get your building wired. So those costs happen. So when we're at the end, it's easier for us to go in and sign you up and lease you anything up, any of your registers and things.
So do you guys mainly work only in Louisiana, or is it national?
No, we are in Louisiana, Georgia, California, Mississippi, New Jersey, by ways of 6 restaurants in New York as well.
Okay. So I got 2 more questions for you. Okay, so let's say I'm opening up a restaurant and I approach you and I don't know where to begin or even what to do. How would you guys be able to help me just get from pretty much point A to B?
Okay, usually we start from your business plan. We get with you on your business plan, try to put you in a direct. We actually give our clients an actual a punch list of things they need to do, whether it's permitting, outsourcing, beverage, your alcohol licensing, everything like that. You need to have all those things in order when you do start the process, just to get it started, because health department has to come out, ATC has to come out, the fire marshal has to come out. There's so many steps pre-opening, and that's what we actually do. So we're there to help you. We have direct call, like phone numbers. Hey, I go to City Hall in different states and cities, like at least once a week, to try to find out who's working, who's the new person, so we can know whom to call for any process, you know. So when they do, sometimes they have grand openings and you need like just a special event license. If you just have event space with no liquor license, things like that, and you have a restaurant coming catering and things like, you have to put all of that into play. You want to do everything legally, you want to do everything in order, because if you get on a list of people that are doing stuff under the table and things like that, that does not help the cause. You get pushed back a million times. So I've seen it happen a lot. So
what's next for you? I mean,
what's next? the big dream is to automate all of this, create more me's. That's, you know, that was my whole trigger in becoming an entrepreneur. Once I kept having owners from back in French Quarter days, the owner, amazing Jew, Phil Houston, shout out to him. I don't know where he's living in West Palm Beach right now, living his best life probably. When he just kept saying, I need you to make you a you, turn this person into a you. Hey, I saw this girl, turn this person into a you. So corporate America, they're like, Keitris, train people to be you. Can we just bottle up you and make a handbook and give it to people? I'm gonna try to create a whole bunch of me's, if that makes sense. Like, if y'all gonna pay me 6 figures to try to clone myself, which is hard because everyone won't have the same drive. When I'm doing business with you, I take on your place like it's my baby. Like, I put money in. I did not put money into any of this. Like, it's not my money. It was this owner's money, you know? But I want to see you succeed. Like, I want everyone to win. And so you can't copy that passion, because everybody don't want to see people win, you know? So that's my big motivation. But I want to automate this so I could just, you know, live in my condo in Belize and live a good life. And that's about it.
Yeah. So do you have any like courses or classes coming up or anything you want to create?
Everyone keep asking.
Because you definitely should. I just see it.
I know. I need to box it because it's per client though. So it changes. It's very hard. I have a traditional, just a blueprint. I call it the blueprint. Like, I have just simple blueprint, like a checklist that everyone must go through to open up a restaurant. Whether it's each state, each county, I could tell you exactly what you need for those. But they change every year. Like right now in New Orleans, no one could get a license for short-term rental. Like they're holding it for like 6 months. I put in something before this happened last week, but it's just, you know, just trying to get everything together and people together to just see them when I wish I had courses. But I will say the course that I did have my Super A Top 5 certificate in was KeilaWyns.com, KeilaWyns.com. She has ebooks, courses, everything like that. I have not came out with my own just yet. I have a process of a book coming out too, to actually it's like self-help, sarcasm, very me.
Very you.
It's going to be called The Loyal Employee. I already got a trademark. Don't try to steal it. But it'll just kind of break through to show you how to move and transition through life, whether it's getting a promotion or just being a great employee, because I have been that for people. And so I just put it on paper. But
definitely.
It'll be out next year.
Okay.
So.
And where can they find you?
You can find me at www.bourgeoisconsultants.com. You can also go to my Instagram, which is now called A Bougie House. If you find it, ABOUGIE. On Instagram. Bourgeois Consultants is also on Facebook. And you can't go to my personal page or my friends. But yes, you can find me.
All right, bet. Thank you, Keitris.
You're welcome.
Last question. Where do you see yourself in five years? Let's say 5 years.
In 5 years, I'll be retired. The business will be automated, and I will be writing and taking care of all my developers and clients from my laptop while I'm sitting on the beach in Belize.
Love it.